Hey guys, what up? It's Journal Glow here, and today I was going to come to you with another story time. And this one is about chemistry. Chemistry 261, or Origins of Organic Chemistry. Let's go. Where to begin? Well, let's start at the beginning. That's no fun, is it? This was the last chemistry class that is labeled chemistry that I need at the University of Alberta. My end goal was to pass. I wanted to have all of my grades be B- and above, but spoiler alert, it didn't happen because of Chem 261. So I started the semester off, and the big flashing thing that was happening for me at the beginning of the semester was, she said, you need to get 60% or higher, so not 59.9 even percent. You needed 60% or higher in the lab portion to pass the lab portion and the class. If you failed, if you got 59.9 in the lab portion, you failed the class. That stressed me out so much. So I was really focusing on doing well in the labs, which I actually really did well. All of my grades were lowest end 75, highest end about 97, but in a general grade was 85 on all assignments across the board. And it was the chem lab final that brought my grade down because I'm not good at exams. But the other thing was that it based, like, the testing, the lab exam was based on lecture content. It made no sense, and I actually wasn't doing very well in the lecture, and I'll get to that in a minute. But because of that warning sign, I was so focused on getting such a good grade, and my assignments were really good, but my lab exam was not, and so it brought my grade down from however high it was to a 61%. It's kind of scary to think about it now, but 61%. I passed the lab and therefore the class by 1%. It dropped it down to a 61%. I seriously just passed that, which really sucks because it is obviously the exams. When I did so well in the rest of the assignments, it is the exams that are my downfall. But mainly it was my downfall because it was based on lecture content, not lab. I was doing so well at the practical side. So that was the warning thing, you need to focus on this. So of course I focused on that, and I went through the class because second thing, the textbook for the course was recommended, not required. There was actually nothing required, but I got all of her bound notes that was recommended. I got all of that for $20 or something. And then there was recommended the textbook, recommended the organic molecule making kit. Molecule making kit was a thing that I bought last. And the textbook I didn't buy until I thought I was doing well, because she said that as long as you're in class, reviewing the material, going through the questions, and you're confident, you should be fine. I took the first midterm, and because there's two, I totally failed. I got 26%. I never get grades like that. And it was a devastating blow, and that was actually a really bad time, not just because of academics, but for other reasons. And so I got my mark back, and I was so disappointed. It's terrible. What do you do after you get 26% on something so important? It makes everything else that much more important, and that sucks. So, the textbook that was recommended was $300. So, I ended up ordering one from Amazon, but guess what? I had to wait for that one from Amazon to get to me. And So I can't even start reviewing because obviously that's not what was helping me. So I'm suffering away in class trying to learn these things that obviously now I don't understand at all, even though I was confident about it. Then when my textbook finally gets to me, I have to spend 5 hours on one chapter, and I had to catch up on 4 chapters. And so it makes no sense to actually be in class while they're reviewing new things that are based on the things that you don't understand. So I wasn't there, and it just kept becoming like a spiral, down and down and down. And then it took, I reviewed, I was good, I had my solid foundation, and then I moved on, to like the ones that we were learning in class that I had missed before the midterm, the second midterm. And I took the second midterm, and I failed even worse. I got a 21% on the second midterm, because guess what? It was on none of the stuff before, but only the stuff that was after, and just all the really complicated and just screw you stuff. It was really bad, and I never give up. I try never to give up. I want only, if there's any hope left, I always cling to that hope and pursue. But it was so hard to do. The next thing that happened was I didn't have my lab exam yet, so this was all very crazy and hectic. When I got my mark back from my lab exam, seeing that I got 61%, I now had 61, 26, and 21%. I needed a 75% on the final to get a 50 as a grade, like a freaking 50. And so that's before the curve. I needed a 75% to get a solid grade, right? I only knew like 33% of this stuff. I reviewed really hard, and even though there was still some sort of light, I'd pretty much given up. Like I said, I really don't. When there's hope, I don't give up, but I gave up. I gave up hard. And I went into that exam, and I thought I tanked. I'm pretty sure I did, but that just means that everybody else did. I went in, I didn't leave any question unanswered. It's just that some of my answers were pretty ridiculous and obviously wrong. I wanted to write down that I knew I was wrong, but I didn't, whatever. They give you marks, right? But of course it couldn't be a multiple choice question. It had to be all long answer, just terrible exam. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure I tanked the exam, which I don't understand how that works. If I didn't get a 75%, how could I get a 50? How could I pass? Spoiler alert, I passed, but I just, the education makes no sense. But so here's what I mean. Everybody else must have gotten such a bad grade that my grade on that exam, in relativeness to everybody else's grade, was like a 75%, right? Ergo, now I'm at 50. And that's how I got my D grade. I made a joke that, C's get degrees, right? Everybody makes that joke. Because anything less is degrading. Like, it's degrading. My dad laughed. But it is. It's so degrading to have a D. But in the end, you know what? I passed. I had an A- in my other class, a B- in my other class, and then I had that D. And then had that D. And the next semester, if I get my good grades still, that D won't even matter. So, that is my story of how my Origins of Organic Chemistry class went. I really love learning it. I'm just not good at the lecture part, the examination part, because actually I've proven that I'm good at the practical part. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the videos that you have been seeing, subscribe down below. I'm pretty sure it's right here is where the button is. Where the button is. Should be big and red and says subscribe on it. And what else? What else to say? If you have any things to say or any similar stories, any non-similar stories, anything at all, please leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you have to say. If it's good, that's great. If it's not, that's not so great. But hey, I don't discriminate. Just go ahead and do it. So, whatever makes you happy. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and a great life. And I will see you later.